They say deep inside the eyes of a true lover lies the heart of a true lover. But when does love become blind and a deaf mute too? The streets of Oforikrom leads us to a heart-touching story. A love story against all odds. A story that speaks to the heart of a couple. 48-year-old Kwavi Agbemado and 47-year-old Edith Asara Agbemado both have hearing and speech impairment. They have been married for over 20 years now. It's a Saturday morning and Mr. Kwavi is praying for the family.
Since I'm willing to enter into tertiary level, and I usually pray on it. Last year he wanted me to buy forms and I said no, we should wait for next year. So he was just praying and praying hard. Maybe God will show us that one day a light will fall on us so that we can enter into university.
As he tell us about their love story, the two have 3 children together, 2 boys and a girl. Their second born, 21-year-old Godfred Oforikrom Agbemado, is a born sign language interpreter who aids communication. On arrival at the home, Mr. Agbemado and his family were watching one of Anas's expose on human rituals.
I can't interpret for that to understand completely, so I just have to interpret for my mom. And my mom find a way to tell that to understand what I'm trying to say, because I've been signing fast. I don't know how to sign slowly and break it down for that to understand. So I sign the normal way. If that wasn't visually impaired, he could have understand me. Because he can't see, I just have to interpret for mom, and mom have to break it down for that to understand.
They met in school where they both expressed love for each other and later got married. But their first dating involved a lot of signs and a lot of letters. But how do they express deep love without words?
Okay, so after visiting that, paying a visit to that's where the relationship started. So because they have been knowing each other for so long. So you became pregnant? Okay. Came to his house and visit her too. But she never knew she was having a baby. So one day his mom called her and asked, Edith, you are pregnant? He said no. So he was denying, so she went back to school. So the mistress called her and asked her, you are pregnant, is your parents away? He said no. So they have to call his parents and called dad's parents to the office.
Though Mr. Agbemado is now suffering from glaucoma, they love Indian movies. But how do they truly understand the scenes?
For Ghanaian movies or the black movies, I've been only comedian and those stuffs. So as for Indian movie, he wished in watching Indian movie because they always do actions, fights, or even how they relate. So she dislike Ghanaian movies, so because it's full of funny and jokes. As for Indian movies,
Godfred says sometimes he regrets being born in a family of hearing and speech impairment.
Most of my friends mock me. Sometimes if I call dad or mom for PTA meeting, I just have to sit by my dad, and whilst the PTA is going on, I have to interpret for them. They say, with the teachers, we did this subject, it was very cool, so you have to left the classroom and interpret for your dad. I said, oh, but most of my friends also motivate me. They are always happy to see me, and most of my friends always come here and visit us because they want to see how I interpret, I sign, because it seems so wonderful for them.
So you were not taught, you were born, as a sign language?
Yes. I didn't even want to learn the sign language, but Dad have to force that in us, because if even you go for school and your bills are given to you, when you come, Dad won't even pay you the money. You have to interpret for him to understand what's the money he's supposed to pay to you. So you can't just say you can't interpret, so you won't collect your fees and go and pay. So
he says efforts should be made to get more sign language interpreters for television for people like his parents.
That's why I'm forcing myself into. I want the whole nation to consider their situation. It's very difficult. Sometimes, if our TV even the volume goes off, and I can only see them speaking without hearing the voice or the sound, I even get annoyed or very disappointed. So if in their situation they are to watch television without no interpretation or no interpreter, sometimes they feel very difficult. So they always have to depend on someone else before they can hear news. That's why I'm hoping maybe in future we can establish an institution for sign language interpreters, so that we can have more interpreters in this country.
Currently, only one national television has a sign language interpreter for news, GTV, and that is the only TV station Mr. and Mrs. Agbamado monitor happenings in the country. Whether there are more sign language interpreters on television stations operated in the country or not, it is for better or for worse. This is where they attend their church to praise God and have fun with colleagues. The relationship between these two is a clear indication that love can exist in whichever form. Mahmud Mohammed-Nurudeen's report for Joy News.